Good evening all. So we have come back with a very interesting topic for people who are interested in agriculture and who are interested in food and who are interested on how food is being made and what kind of agricultural products we create within our country. So it's a very interesting project for countries who are interested to build a very strong basic economy, an economy that is dependent on agriculture, an economy that is dependent on some food items, and an investment in agriculture in our days is not investment it's not an investment in business or economical development, because it does not take much labor force as before, and also it does not create as much return on investment as before. However, it's an investment in security, and it's a long-term investment on the structure of the economy. That is being said, and on this topic I shall start. So agriculture and agriculture challenges. What do we think about agriculture? Agriculture is a very important component within any economy. It's the basic, you would need agriculture to feed your people, and in many cases you would need agriculture for some pharmaceutical work. So the basic ingredients within either in terms of food or medicine comes from agriculture, and sometimes some kind of chemicals and so on comes from plants and so on. The challenge, in order to have a successful agricultural industry, you would need four things. You would need a fertile soil, you would need a good climate which gives you enough sun and which provide you as well with enough rainfall. You would need manpower that is cheap and effective, or you need some kind of mechanized technology that can overcome the manpower, the labor cost. And the fourth thing, you would need water, and water is very important. So in many countries in the Gulf, you don't have the fertile soil and you don't have the water, so you end up and sometimes the labor also cannot compete with countries like China and India. The manpower you can't compete in terms of manpower with countries in China and India. And of course there is capital, but you can't compete in terms of manpower. So in terms of production, you would always see this as challenging. We have seen countries that is very successful in reaching self-sufficiency and sometimes being an exporter on a range of agricultural products. One of those is Turkey. Turkey has become one of the most influential players in a group of agricultural products such as apricots, such as cherry, some kind of nuts, some types of nuts, and we also see them in a range of maybe sheep. We see them also, they are famous for the amount of sheep they have, so they become successful in terms of animal and plant production. Why this happen? I think because they have enough water, basically. And I don't think the manpower is cheap in Turkey as it is in China or in India, but basically because of manpower, and because they have been they got some experience from the Netherlands and from Germany in terms of the usage of agricultural technology and agriculture mechanization. The second thing is Syria. Syria was one of the countries that was self-sufficient in terms of food items, and that's basically, I think, less than Turkey in terms of technology, but more in terms of maybe the same level in terms of water. They have become self-sufficient in terms of water. Now, for countries that does not have enough water, and that does not have enough understanding of technology, I think the focus should be on a specific kind of plants and a specific kind of agriculture that promotes a particular industry. Could be like Switzerland. So you would look at model like Switzerland. You would look at model like Netherlands, and you'd look at model like Belgium. You focus on a particular agricultural product. So, for example, Belgium is very famous for their begonia. In Switzerland, the agricultural sector is highly subsidized. It can produce things like it might provide some knowledge for companies like Nestle and for them some of the most famous pharmaceutical companies. So maybe you would plant a special type of herbs or a special type of plants in order to feed these kinds of industries. The focus on manpower, you should always focus on technology. It is always, I always wonder why Egypt did not become one of the most successful countries in terms of agriculture, or why Sudan did not become the same. I think with Sudan it's quite clear they don't have the capital to build a proper infrastructure in order for them to support their logistics network and the needs of their agricultural items, and it has always been surrounded by wars and a sense of instability, or a sense of sometimes diseases. While in Egypt, I think the stability was there, and I think in Egypt also the water was there and the fertile soil was there, and you wonder why they could not make it. This is a very good question. In terms of agricultural sector, maybe you should really ask yourself why countries like Turkey was more successful than countries like Egypt. And don't think about government model or how people think, just why these people become more successful than these people. And I think the answer is about governance and management. That by far is the right answer. And in terms of education as well, which is also associated with management and governance. So what is the challenges for farmers across the globe? The challenges for farmers across the globe is to be able to bring their products to the market at a competitive price. And you can't have it with people who are playing small, who have small farms and they want to sell their items. You really need some very big organization in order to help them to reach the prices in the global market at a competitive price. So it can be a company that subsidize a particular level of production. So if you would always sell your farm production to this company at a fixed price, whether they have sell it less or more, because they would like to be part of the global market. And this company will focus on quality. This company will focus on the sustainability of farms, and on the sustainability of the agricultural sector, and on providing technical knowledge and in providing technical capabilities to farmers. There is a lot of cooperatives that is spread across Europe, and you can see that a lot of farms across Europe have been gathered with cooperatives. So I really don't have answers for this, but I know that challenges for farmers is to be able to have a sufficient level of production, a sufficient level of quality, at a sufficient level of price that help them to enter the market. So this is the question. You don't have the quality, or you don't have the quantity, or you don't have the price. So if we have production that is at the right quantity, at the right quality, for the right price, I would think there might be a chance in the market. In an already very competitive market, you would need this to be much better than the current condition. I wish you a great evening. That was my second talk. And with this talk, I shall say, salam.